Good evening, I'm Prue Watson, Chair of Hillcrest Enterprises Limited. Hillcrest Enterprises, HEL for short, is a limited company within the Hillcrest Group. It is neither a charity nor a housing association as such. The company is able to make a profit. Last year we were able to make a donation of 87k through gift aid to some of the charitable subsidiaries within the Hillcrest Group. This represented 50% of the 172k profit generated during the year 2013 to 2014. It is the policy of the Board of Directors to continue to donate a proportion of the profits to enhance the core services provided by these subsidiaries, who in turn can bid for the funding by putting forward projects. How does HEL make its profits? HEL offers an umbrella for a wide range of services. Housing. HEL owns housing stock, which is let out to individuals or organisations with special housing needs that are not able to be met through other channels. Despite the welfare reforms and recession, HEL continued to perform very well in both arrears management and void loss. At the end of the financial year, the arrears stood at less than 2%, which was considerably lower than was the target. Void loss was also low, despite some difficulty in letting some properties. In addition to owning housing stock, HEL has properties on its books which are let out at market rent. Asset management. The Board of Directors approved a detailed asset management strategy during the year, which underpins the approach of the organisation to ensure that all properties remain at a high standard. A number of recommendations on various properties have been approved by the Board. These enhance the properties and the quality of life of the individual who rent. Agency services. HEL continues to provide agency services to a wide range of clients, and this encompasses clerk of works and development services, as well as PR, finance, health and safety and payroll. This activity has generated a healthy profit over the past year and supports the aim to provide new social enterprises in the future. Right recruitment. This is the first true enterprise set up by HEL and exists to provide good quality relief or permanent staff to the care sector. This part of HEL has grown steadily in the number of clients it manages to support and is attracting a new agency staff to its books. The unique selling point of right recruitment in this industry is the care and attention in ensuring that the agency staff provided have undergone the necessary training and disclosure checks before they are put on site. Financially, HEL is in a very good position and is generating profits well in excess of budget. This will allow further enterprises to be considered, as well as enhancing housing stock in the future.
Hello, my name is Mike Burns. I'm the Chair of Hillcrest Maintenance Services Board. I'd just like to say good evening and welcome to the Hillcrest Group AGM. And as far as HMS is concerned, I'd like to start with thanking Mark Percival, our MD, and his team for yet another successful year. As far as our objectives are concerned, in 13-14 we continued to grow with internal growth and an introduction of mobile working. HMS's income in 13-14 was 6,700,000, which is an increase of 27% from our 12-13 income of 5,300,000, all heading in the right direction. The increase in Hillcrest Group works carried out by HMS was also an area of growth. In 13-14 we increased the financial savings realised by the Hillcrest Group to savings of almost £1 million. Key moments for the board and for HMS in the last year have been particularly around establishing itself in its own right as a company. We used to be part of Hillcrest Enterprises Limited. Now we're brave enough to stand on our own 2 feet. Making a difference. I think Hillcrest Maintenance Services continues to make a difference in the quality of work that it provides across the Hillcrest Group, and also in relation to the number of jobs that it creates here in the local economy. In March 14 we had 98 employees, which was a rise from 76 the previous year, and we continue to employ more staff as our workload increases. As for the future, what does that hold for HMS? HMS plans to grow internally and externally, and progress has already been made in one geographical area with day-to-day repairs and void works in Edinburgh. We've employed a team of 4 tradesmen and 1 supervisor, and we've created a base within the Hillcrest Canongate office, and we will start works in the Edinburgh area as of September 14. This is an example of how Hillcrest Group and HMS together are growing and meeting the demands of the group. HMS will continue to play a very important part and have an important role in the growth of the Hillcrest Group, and I look forward to watching that happen. Thank you.
Hello everybody. I'd like to start by thanking my fellow board members for all of their time committed, the rigour and enthusiasm with which each one steers, guides and sometimes challenges the Hillcrest executive team towards achieving Northern's goals. Northern's board benefits from a diverse range of skills and experience in housing association finance and administration, energy efficiency and fuel poverty initiatives, tenant liaison and management, rent control and benefits, and marketing and public relations. Regrettably, Northern lost the hands-on input of Stuart Shepherd during the year as CEO, but I'm delighted to say he has volunteered his services to the Northern board, and I personally will welcome his vast knowledge of Northern stock, his respect for our tenants, and of course his great rapport with Hillcrest directors, managers and service personnel. Now, just to recap on our mission, Northern's purpose within the Hillcrest framework is to enable access to affordable accommodation to those on limited incomes, those who are unable to afford home ownership or open market rents. We call this mid-market or intermediate rent. In our business plan, we've identified some key operational objectives, of which I want to give some examples. A. Asset management improvements for the benefits of our existing tenants. Should I pull up a picture here? At Ellengower Drive, where we have 128 units in Dundee, built in the 1920s with a design life of about 30 years, the board gave approval to spend £2.9 million over the next 6 years. This will give these units, which have remained popular with singles, couples and families, young and old, improved thermal insulation with better U values, better sound separation between upper and lower floors, and removal of legacy asbestos cement wallboarding. And this is actually in addition to the $500,000 that we've spent in planned maintenance, upgrading kitchens and bathrooms over the last 3 years. B. More good quality mid-market rent accommodation. The pictures. Since joining Hillcrest in 2010, Northern has expanded its portfolio of managed MMR properties in Edinburgh. These came on stream in 2012-2013 with 48 units at Coburg Street and Fourth Quarter. And last year, in 2013-2014, we delivered 76 at Quarter Mile and 16 at Dinmont Drive. And at Salamander Street, this wonderful development here, which I'll come back to, we have delivered 56 units out of the 145 handed over under the enormously complicated NHT scheme. This was not all plain sailing, as the flagship Q10, this one here, has taken longer to let, would you believe? This has been reduced to restricted parking allowances by Edinburgh City Council, high council taxes inevitable in a high value area, and higher than usual service charge because of lifts and common areas. So we've been putting in white goods and flooring, carpeting, floor coverings, and as far as I'm aware, we're down to about 6 unlet. The coming year and through 2016, in addition to the remaining 89 units from Salamander Street, Northern has committed a programme of 157 MMR units. And then there's a further 16 units programmed and 22 under speculative consideration. That's 480 that I'm aware of, but of course there may be more. So we're well on the way to doubling Northern's portfolio of mid-market units in the 5 years since joining the Hillcrest Group. The majority of these have been leased from Hillcrest or managed on behalf of the NHT LLP, but there's also opportunities for Northern to expand its own ownership. In addition, there's third-party NHT opportunities out with the Hillcrest Group. Thirdly, we said that we would promote better quality management services, and I'm delighted, while we wait with bated breath for the outcome of the process mapping exercise, I'm delighted to welcome Derek Reid to head up Hillcrest's Northern Housing, Tenancy and Asset Management teams in Dundee and Edinburgh. Derek knows the Dundee portfolios very well because of his days at J.D. Shepherd, and he's since been working on other missions within Hillcrest Group. Finally, we can't get away from the accounting numbers, so I'm delighted to say that the rental income was up to 2.3 million from 1.7 in 2013. That gave us a surplus of 292,000, down from 582 in 2013 due to leasing costs, void costs, and increased planned maintenance that you've heard about. And finally, that leaves our asset value at 31 million and a balance sheet value of 29.2 million. No more pictures, only a few more words. And these are really about our key tasks moving forward. Northern Housing, with Hillcrest support, needs to better explain what mid-market rent is, who it's aimed at, and who can benefit from it. And we also, I think, need to work more constructively on how we encourage or incentivize our renting tenants to be able to own their own properties, particularly this wonderful groundbreaking development, Sailmaker at Salamander Place. Thank you very much.
Good evening, I'm Janet Lynch, Chairperson of Gowrie Care. Our objectives for 2013-14. Firstly, to develop our self-directed support plan in line with the implementation of legislation. Gowrie Care has always worked on a person-centred approach to work with people to find which approach will work best for them. Our self-directed support strategy is now in place and was developed using a number of different ways to find out what people wanted from us. Working groups of staff and some service users to define what type of services they would want and the best way to deliver it. Surveys of all stakeholders, which happen on an annual basis, asking what improvements and added value services people would like. And we also gained advice from people who had already developed new services like these and what issues and problems they encountered. We have maintained our care inspectorate grades and continue to see this as the cornerstone and a major strength of our organisation. Added value services. People told us they value our 2 trust funds, where individuals and groups can apply for small grants for a variety of things, usually not available from other funds. Board members consider applications and make decisions based on criteria they have set out in advance. Grants were given over the year for a wide variety of requests, including garden equipment, setting up of groups including cooking, walking, photography. camping trips, short breaks and new experiences, clothing and setting up new homes. Our service users tell us they really value this service, and we look each year to maintain and increase these funds if possible. Key moments of the year. The inaugural Gowrie Care Accolades was held in March 2014. Over 50 people attended the ceremony at head office, organised by Rebecca and her publicity team, and sponsored by Right Recruitment. There was an appointment of an improvements coordinator to develop our volunteer strategy and to support volunteers, as well as to develop activity hubs and continue to support our existing group work activities. Development of our working relationship with sister company Craig Owl on a number of projects, including assisting on the DWP Care course, which assists people into work who have been unemployed and want to get back to work in the care sector. These courses have been very successful, and as well as offering practical support to people undertaking the course, it has led to some trainees gaining employment with Gowrie Care. We have also developed a relationship with Dundee Dragons, a wheelchair rugby and basketball team. As well as sponsoring equipment and wheelchairs for the team, we are supporting them in the longer term future, and they are providing us with much needed publicity. Objectives for the coming year. We hope to further develop our activity hubs in Tayside, develop and promote modern apprentice scheme in the care sector in Tayside in partnership with Dundee and Angus College and Craig Owl. We will continue to monitor our home care pilot in Tayside and to evaluate this scheme. I would like to conclude with thanks to my fellow board members and staff for another successful year for Gowrie Care. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tom Waters. I'm Chair of Craig Owl Communities, and I would like to tell you a bit about the work of Craig Owl in the past year. Craig Owl Communities is a registered charity that provides learning opportunities, training, guidance and support to people around employment, housing, literacies and money matters. Through our work we aim to reduce poverty and contribute to the individual and community well-being. To meet our objectives during 2013-14, Craig Owl Communities provided a whole range of adult learning, advisory and employability services and opportunities. Delivery of the services was from various community-based services in Dundee, and also outreach services were provided by in the premises of partner organisations. Participants were residents in all areas of Dundee and also in surrounding areas of Angus and Fife. I could go into more detail in terms of the services that we provide, however, I would like to focus more on what we delivered from those services rather than the services themselves. And our annual report gives much more detailed information on the various activities. What difference did we make? I think it's useful then to just quote a few statistics which clearly show what impact we've had in the community. We've supported 300 people in employability training, and 67 of those have gained recognised work-related qualifications. And we've generated financial savings to clients, or financial gains to clients should I say, of in excess of £620,000 in the year. This is made up mainly from supporting clients gaining access to disability benefits to which they're entitled, or in various in-work benefits which also they're entitled to. This helps clients to access and make reasonable use of these benefits to support, in particular where they've gone into lower paid employment. Under Toolbox, we're running a 9-month care training course for 6 trainees. These trainees, when they have completed this course, will have gained an SVQ2 qualification in that area, and will also be guaranteed interviews with Gowrie Care at the end of that course. We've also been running shorter term care courses. We've run 3 of these, attended by 56 people over that last year, and 84% of those have successfully gained employment in the care sector, which I think is a very good success rate. Putting people into employment, our job broker service, have placed 553 unemployed people into work in the year. And it's good to say that after 6 months, 83% of those people are still in employment, which is a very high success rate. This has in effect also reduced job seekers' payments by about £1.9 million in a year, so there's a benefit all round there. There is a new scheme, the Money for Life Challenge, which is sponsored by the Bank of Scotland, which we're taking part in. Under this, a number of young pupil mothers in Mingus Hill High School have been taking part in this project. The initiative is aimed at helping them to provide money-saving tips for preparing food for their children, both now and in the future. So that's where we are at the moment. That's what we've been doing in the last 12 months. For the future, we're looking to further develop our service. In particular, some of the current services that we'll be looking to develop are the job broker service, the toolbox, and making money work. However, we also are bringing in a new project, which is the Craighill Futures project. And this is a pre-employability project which works with people who are really quite removed from the working market or the jobs market and are homeless or are threatened with homelessness. And we support them to a point where we are able to start thinking about becoming employed again. So it's taking people who really are very much in need and then hopefully bringing them back into society again. Any organisation, although I've quoted all the statistics earlier, any organisation is only as good as the satisfaction it provides for its customers. So I'd like to just finish off with a couple of quotes which help to put things in perspective. First is from a client we helped support into work. This client said, "I can honestly say I could never truly thank Craighill enough for what they did for me. I was given an opportunity, and without their help, I could never have done it." Second one was from an employer who used our services to recruit staff. What I would say to you is if you haven't yet signed up to work with Craighill Communities, why not? Give them a chance to prove just how valuable they can be, and you will be pleased you did. And the final quote was from a client who attended one of our care courses and went on to secure employment. "The course was brilliant. It's given me back my confidence and I'm so pleased to be working again. Making money work made sure everything was sorted around my money and I'm much better off working. I have my independence back again." So that puts in perspective the work that we do at Craighill Communities. And just to finish, I would just like to say a thank you to all the staff who make this possible and all the board members too.